Your Friend, My Friend is a pretty great episode of Postcards from Buster. This is the eighth episode of the second season, and this is in both San Diego, California, and also in Mexico. We get to see them crossing the border, which I think is something pretty exciting. We actually get a lot of the Arthur characters in this as well because they have pen pals with children in San Diego. And Buster happens to be there. So Buster goes to the school where they have these pen pals, and we get to meet the children who are the pen pals. And it is so easy to forget that these children are not pen pals with the cast of Arthur or the characters of Arthur. It's obviously fabricated because you wouldn't be a pen pal with a TV character. And it's so bizarre to think that it's not real. It's so easy to buy into it and to believe everything is real and that Buster is actually standing behind the camera and that Arthur and Francine and Fern are constantly phoning Buster up asking for information about their pen pals. And that's obviously the sign of a good TV episode, a good TV show, because I just forget that obviously nobody is pen pals with Arthur and Francine because they're fictional characters. But I completely bought into it and really thoroughly enjoyed that aspect of it. And then those pen pals, or the pen pals that they have in San Diego, have other pen pals in Mexico. And Buster goes with them to meet their pen pals, and we get to see them crossing the border. And I'd love to know what that would feel like to be in two separate countries within the space of a second. I mean, I've done it with England and Scotland, and England and Wales, but obviously we're all within the UK. It's not quite the same thing. So I found that to be really exciting and really fascinating, and it just made me think about what that experience might feel like. Um, there's a beautiful scene where we have children at an award ceremony and their classmates have been saying really nice things about them, which I thought was really sweet. Buster does a beach cleanup at one point. There's this kid who's shouting at Buster, telling him to get off the phone, and obviously it's written, it's scripted. But it did kind of annoy me because Buster was there voluntarily. You can't really command that somebody gets off the phone to help if they're there as a volunteer. But I will agree that I feel like Buster's phone rang too many times, and it did actually start to get a little bit annoying. So I'm glad that Buster actually acknowledged that. But I thought it's definitely a very different episode of Postcards from Buster because usually each episode focuses on one location or maybe a couple of locations within the same state, and we get a sense of what it's like to be there. With this one, not so much with San Diego. Yes, the beach a little bit, but we did get to kind of get a sense of what it was like to cross the border and a few things there. So it feels very different. But as I said, it's very easy to buy into it, to buy into the narrative that these children in San Diego have been writing letters to the characters of Arthur. I mean, maybe they did. It's possible they did, knowing that, well, presumably knowing that the characters aren't real people. And that they'd get a practice writing pen pals, and that somebody, maybe Mark Brown, somebody from the show, would write back just to kind of make it feel more real. But either way, I just thought it was really well done and really engaging. And obviously, well, I say obviously, I feel like pen pals are a little bit more obsolete now. I had an email pen pal in about 2002, and I feel like because of social media and how easy it is to access people in other parts of the world, I assume handwritten pen pals are not as common, but this was out in 2007, and I love it. I love the concept of pen pals and getting to know somebody from a different country. It's yeah, I think it's very well done. Definitely makes it seem like a really fun thing to do. And Buster was a really nice go between for the three sets of pen pals. Definitely a different episode, but a very good episode.